YouTube. I wanted to, get back into the drift of making storytime speed paints and whatnot. And I know they're not the most original idea out there, but I just thought we need some positivity in the art community, considering, I'm not gonna get into it. I promised myself that I was gonna stay away from art drama, and I am. So, in the positivity side of things, I'm gonna give a few updates to my channel before I get into this story time. I don't know if you guys follow my Twitter or anything, but I got a new cat. If you didn't think that 2 little dumbasses were enough, we got this one. And, she's sitting down here. I might put a little picture here. Her name is Hendrix, and she's just a cute little fluff ball. I love her, and I've only known her for about a week. But if anyone were to harm her, I would kill everybody in the room and then myself. In Minecraft, of course, I'm quoting something. I am making a meme. Do not... You know what I'm quoting. I'm quoting Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Anywho. But on the positive side of YouTube, something came out a couple of days ago. I don't know if it was 1 or 2 days ago. I think it's 2 at the time of this recording. Was the Sonic Anniversary Symphony thing. My nostalgia precedes me. So if you guys haven't been on my channel a lot, there might still be some videos floating around on my channel. Sipping my drink. That, I started off as a Sonic YouTuber-ish, because that's what I was fluctuating on in high school. Now, why did that die off? Well, I mean, 1, I got into other subjects and got into other fascinations, and 2, I broadened my horizons a little bit. Are you squeaking at me? Why are you squeaking at me? Why? Hello, kitty. But as I broadened my horizons a little bit, it's because I grew out of the home I was in. It's kind of hard to explain. I'll get into that story in a little bit. But Sonic was a huge part of my, not childhood, but it kind of like my teenage years, because, my dad was not the best person, who would not let us have any recent video games. He wouldn't let it. It was borderline Amish at my house. If you guys don't know who Amish people are, let me explain. They really don't have much electronics, if at all. And if they have electronics, they're not their own. It's weird. They have this weird rule that we don't use the devil stuff, but if they're someone else's, I guess we can use it. Shrug. I don't know. I've heard weird rumors all over from different Amish people that I've encountered, because, hey, I live in Amish territory. I bumped my microphone, I'm so sorry. And all kinds of sorts of things. But back to the original topic at hand. Sonic. We played video games at my house, but the only video games that we had at first was an old GameCube and a couple of games that were hand-me-downs from my cousin Hunter. So, when we moved back to Michigan, it's kind of funny because we used to live in Michigan, we moved from Michigan to the state of Indiana. I'm not giving any sorts of locations, but I'm actually kind of proud that I used to live in Michigan. I love Michigan. But we moved from Michigan to Indiana to Michigan to the land of pencils. Anywho, my dad basically was just like, yes, no video games for you that involve the Marios, the Sonics, the Luigis, stuff like that. Yet, my dad had Crash Bandicoot for the PS1. I don't know this hypocrisy. It was weird. I mean, I appreciated the video games that I got as a kid. I mean, I remember I was a huge fan of the Bratz, and I got some of those, I guess they're called shovelware now. Some of the shovelware games that were, brought out when the show The Bratz Rock Angels came out, and I was like, yeah, they have a GameCube game? I want that for my birthday, Dad. And Dad was just like, oh, shit, you actually want a video game? Oh, yeah, oh, shit. But when it got to my teenage years, we only still had said GameCube. And my mom was like, oh shit, fuck. And her friend went to a garage sale and encountered a few video games on their own. Like, kind of just someone's hand-me-down collection of GameCube games. It was interesting because some worked, some didn't work, and some, let's just say, they just were beaten to shit. But out of some of the games that actually worked were Sonic Adventure DX. One of my all-time favorites, because I would spend hours in the Chow Garden trying to process, how does the Chow work? Are they bits of chaos? Are they... what are they? Are they little aliens? Like, what the explain, Sega! Anywho, Sonic was kind of like one of those little escapes for me. I wasn't that in tune with Mario, other than Mario Party. I played Mario Party. I was more in tune with Sonic. I don't know if it's just because the aesthetic was more pleasing to me, but I liked Sonic more. I mean, no offense to Mario, because I love Mario too. Like, I wasn't a Mario versus Sonic kind of person, like, oh, you have to pick a side, and I was just like, I like both. If anything, I was more of a Pokemon person, but, you know, whatever. But Sonic was a huge part of my childhood because of, you know, Sonic Adventure DX was a huge escape for me. I mean, it was one of the first games I could beat. And then my mom, for one of my birthdays, got me Sonic Colors. For the Nintendo DS, not for the Wii. Now, I know everyone always talks about the Wii version, and it's like, oh wow, look at this, oh look what you can do. But, I almost said 3DS. The DS version, I thought was really neat, because it's just like, it was one of the first games that I 100%ed, and if you have not played Sonic Colors, considering Sonic Colors is getting a remake soon, please avoid spoilers here. When you get to the point where not only do you defeat Eggman, but you also defeat a corrupted Mother Wisp? Shrug. It was really interesting to me because, oh wow, there's bonus content in the Sonic games. I didn't realize there was just so much bonus content in Sonic games, because, young me was a stupid and didn't realize that if you beat all the different stories in Sonic Adventure, you get the Super Sonic. Don't look at me like that, Hendrix. I see you judging me. You're worse than Jotaro sometimes. You're cute. Aww. But back to the story at hand. Move on a couple of years where we move into another house in the land of pencils. I get in, and they're signing me up for school, and the lady basically tells me, yes, you can't come into this school until about like 2 weeks later. And I'm like, seriously? I literally have to sit at home for 2 weeks. Wow. I mean, it's bad enough the school year already started when I got there. I mean, my brother, he was already automatically enrolled. Like, my mom did that shit over the phone. She was just like, hey, I want to enroll my son in school. And they just did that over the phone. But my high school was just like, yeah, she has to be here, vaccination records, blah, 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 blah. And if you can't fax that shit over, we're gonna have to have a serious conversation. It was weird as hell. Now, don't get me wrong. This is probably what caused me to have such an artistic ability. I already drew a lot when I was younger. However, I kind of got some computer time when I was, you know, we just moved in with my mom's boyfriend at the time. Hello, Kitty. I see you. And when we moved in with my mom's boyfriend, he had said computer, and he said, hey, if you edit my videos, because he was a quote-unquote pro hunter, we're not going to go into a lot of details on that, because I don't want to talk about him. He was an abusive asshole. And to the point where we had to get a PFA order against him. But, to continue the story, I kind of delved into the depths of older YouTube where everyone was making like not story times, but like story videos using like Sonic characters and their fan characters and like theme videos and all that stuff, and I thought it was neat because it was like a niche side of YouTube at the time. I didn't find it that popular. And I mean, on top of everything, I just found it cool. Hello, Kitty. Oh, don't donk your mom. But as everything was going on, I started learning that, like, how to draw the Sonic style, learning about, you know, Sonic and whatnot. And I was kind of just, you know, doodling out, like, concepts of characters that I thought would be cool. And, I mean, I will admit I was a self-shipper, but, you know, at the time I really didn't find any reason to find self-shipping bad. That's kind of why I didn't jump on the whole Akai Dahlia bandwagon. Because I self-shipped. I had no problem with self-shipping as long as you didn't force anything down someone's throat. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, this is about the time where I said, you know what, I want to get into digital art. And, like, around my birthday, I said to my family, I'm like, I want to save up for a laptop, and I want to save up for a tablet, and I want to learn digital art. Where did I get this? Because I saw a bunch of different artists had cool speed paint videos, and it was really neat, and I was just like, I want to do that. Fast forward to years later where I have regretted a lot of decisions, but hey, I can draw, can't I? But Sonic got me through a bunch of dark periods of my life. Like watching a bunch of Sonic videos and talking about characters and character developments and all that kind of good stuff. Like, it got me through a really dark part of my life. When I was a freshman in high school, when I started doing YouTube, this is the interesting part. A bunch of kids in high school were like, oh wow, we heard you do YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to delve into that because I'm not popular. I don't need kids finding out my YouTube and finding out I'm a huge Sonic dork. Was I ashamed? Not really, it's just I didn't want people being a jerk to me. And all these kids, can I just admit that these people were very, very stupid not figuring out that my Twitter handle was the same as my YouTube? It took only one person, and she actually kept it silent. Brooke, you're the MVP, okay? But to delve into the whole situation, from freshman year to sophomore year, we were dealing with my mom's ex's alcohol problem. And every time my grandparents would come up from Michigan or Florida, because that's where they lived at the time, stuff would, shit would hit the fan, basically. My grandpa is a recovering alcoholic. Basically, you know, make sure you keep the alcohol out of view. Even though my grandpa can resist all temptation, because my cousin who lives near them drinks near them, you know, he resists temptation because he's old. What is he gonna do? But at the same time, I've also witnessed older people who've been recovering alcoholics for years go out of and relapse. So it's just like, we want to just take away all temptation just in case. And at this time, we were like, okay, we just want to make sure, you know, temptation is out of the way. Get the beer out of the house, get the wine out of the house, stuff like that. It wasn't that we had any heavier alcohols. It was just simple things to keep my grandpa in check. Not that anyone drank anything heavier than beer or wine in the house, but I digress because it still caused a bunch of issues in the house because I guess it's in the water in this place that everybody has to drink themselves to death, but whatever. And of course, anytime these types of fights and anything would happen, ugh, Nelly. But of course, you know, the kids at school didn't care what was going on behind the fucking screen. They didn't know what was going on behind the screen. They were going like, oh yeah, we just want to find out what your YouTube is so we can fucking harass you. We want to know what you're doing, you little Sonic dork. And I'm sitting here like, you know, kind of just want to do my thing, you know? I think it was about the time that I was in basketball, like, I literally would listen to, like, what was it, Live and Learn? When I would practice at home. You know, I would just go for walks and listen to a couple of the OSTs and be like, this is the kind of song that would fucking amp you up, you know? And a good amount of people, like, looked at me like, oh, what songs are you listening to? And I'm just like, none of your business. And they just kind of would look at me like, oh, she's that dork. The only few that actually would understand were, like I said, a girl named Brooke, and then there was another girl named Cheyenne. Like, these two girls were actually some of the only few girls that were actually okay with this on the basketball team, and I still think they're pretty cool people. And it's just like, if it weren't for Sonic, I wouldn't be doing digital art, and digital art is a huge piece of money right now, due to the fact that it's hard to find a job at the moment. I know everybody sees jobs popping up here and there and everywhere, and it's hard for me because locally everybody knows that, hi, you're an epileptic, you might be a problem for us, and I go, thanks, I appreciate that. You know, stuff like that, like, you know, it's hard to explain. Of course, you don't really know until you're in someone's shoes where you understand, like, yes, they're going through this kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? But seeing that symphony kind of just brought all those feels back, and all those years that I've bonded with people over Sonic. I've met people thanks to Sonic. I've done so much art thanks to Sonic. And it's just like, holy shit. It's that weird moment where you have that realization, if it weren't for, like, certain fandoms. This can be for any fandom. Realize that it took your cringe fandom to do certain things. For me, it was Sonic. Would I consider it my cringe phase? Depending on, maybe. But damn, did it help me improve, not only as a person, but it helped me improve as an artist. Gonna sip my drink here. But it also drives me a little insane because people will be like, ew, Sonic, you're a Sonic fan? I don't judge too many fandoms by its fandom, I judge it by the people. And even then, you can't really judge it by the people because it's all, how do you base it on one person versus the whole fandom? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Vern? I know everybody has their moments where they're like, ew. But Sonic was a huge piece of my history, man. I know it was like one of those weird obsessions of mine, but it's just like, I look back in a bunch of my old art books to those darker times, and it shows where that made me happy. That made me realize, hey, life ain't so bad. Like, in my closet right now are a bunch of old art books of mine that I put in boxes, and holy shit, it's interesting to know that, hey, this is where you got your fucking start. I know I'm probably rambling at this point, but it's just like, I wanted to show Sonic a little appreciation for his 30th anniversary. But for this next part, I want to also talk about Symphony spoilers if you haven't watched it. Can we just express how amazing this fucking music is? Like, they know how epic this music is. The orchestra people, the musicians, if I can English today, know how epic the music is, because as soon as, okay, I'm not here to debate which games have the better soundtracks, but as soon as Sonic 06 comes in, alright, instantly, and I do mean instantly, all the different musicians have that smirk like, oh yeah, it's time. We hitting that shit. Oh yeah. Like, they start hitting his world, and it just hits differently in an orchestra. Like, all the different songs from Sonic just hit differently. Not only does it hit differently, but you're listening to all these different songs from nostalgia, whether you started at the beginning of Sonic from Retro Sonic, or Classic Sonic, whatever you call him. I call him Classic Sonic. You know what I'm saying. Or whether you started with modern or 3D Sonic. Like, I will admit I cried when Tails' theme from Sonic Adventure played. Because, damn, that was the first... that was the first story I beat in Sonic Adventure. Like, that was the first game I was like, holy shit. Like, I started, like, bawling like a little baby. Also, because his theme just sounded beautiful with an orchestra. It does. It does. And if y'all don't believe me, just fucking watch the... I know it's 2 hours long. Don't look at me like that. I know you're already looking at it and you're like, that is 2 hours long and I do not want to watch through this. Well, guess what? People are nice and they put little time things, so if you want to skip through certain games, there you go. But I find it heresy. Whether you don't like classic or you don't like 3D, watch it. Also, I was already spoiled for this on Twitter, and this is the one day I've seen the whole fucking Sonic community stand in unity. Can't sell a community without unity, you know? They stood in unity because fucking Crush 40 just stands up and we're like, we're gonna sing some music. But this is not to overshadow the Japanese band who also performed, a lot of the songs from Sonic Colors, like Reach for the Stars and Open Your Heart. Is it Open Your Heart? Open your heart. Yeah, that one. I had to think about it. But it's like, dude, it is fucking epic because not only that, you also have Nate Wants to Battle, or your name seems to escape me. Last name, at least. I think Sharp. Nate Sharp sings epically to a bunch of the music. Like, y'all. I don't mean to be that person, but fucking Sonic went all out. Just all out for the fans. This is my Sonic appreciation post. Don't at me. And for the speed paint, I am probably just, drawing random Sonic things, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna try to draw random Sonic things. You know, I'm excited because Sonic Colors is one of my favorite games. Excuse my very squeaky chair. And Sonic Colors is getting a remake that's widely available to multi-platforms. So, what does this mean for the Bugoo? I'm definitely getting Sonic Colors, that's what I'm doing. There is no stopping me. Don't stop me now. I'm very tempted just to end the video with "Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. Having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now." Don't look at me like that, Hendrix. So I believe that I'm just gonna end the video here because I gave you all my input. It is beautiful. Sonic was a huge part of my life. And we get this beautiful performance by a beautiful orchestra, Crush 40, Nathan Sharp, and excuse me if the beautiful band who performed for Sonic Colors. And I just, mind blown. So yeah. I wanted to put some positivity in the community because we stood in unity. Aw, she's being cute. I know. You watched it with me. Your tiny little brain will remember this, hopefully. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lovely little positive video. Because maybe the next one won't be so positive because, I might need to update some of my videos that I've recorded. One of them is my toxic user video because, well, we got some interesting developments in that story. Secondly, I don't know. As many different users there are, you know, thanks to that series starting with that video and that there's improvement. Don't worry, it just starts interesting, but it's a good ending. Don't look at me like that, cat. I just want to let you guys know that I might try and bring a little more positive, like, users to the table. Though negativity tends to, you know, do its thing. So I'd like to say I hope you guys have a lovely day, afternoon, evening, night. You know what I'm saying. And, happy 30th, Sonic. You an old hedgehog. Or as Twitter called him, apparently Sanic is a dilf, which kind of scares me. I don't want to see that. Also, a little bonus for this video. Yes, my cat, who is named Hendrix, is also named after Jimi Hendrix. My mom is a huge music nerd. But my nickname for her is Squishy. Good night, everybody!